And I tried to go down there and I slipped and I fell into the 6-foot bunker.
Hey y'all, Coach here with Golf with Coach, back with another video and back with another podcast. We got Codi Walker from Texas in the house. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good, good. You're under the weather, so thank you for coming on. I know that sucks, but you're here and we appreciate it. So, first off, why social media? Why did you want to jump into social media and take your golf game and just put it out for the world to see?
So I started on TikTok maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and there was nothing that really like grabbed my interest besides funny animals. So I started working at a pro shop when I moved where I'm at, and I ran the country club. So all I could do was really post like golf content.
Right.
It seemed to catch on for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The people that I met through it started inviting me to tours and different things that I didn't think I was good enough to play, but I did it anyway.
Right. How long have you been playing for?
4 years.
4 years. So I started 2 years. So what made you start golf?
So my grandfather lived here and was the president of the golf course then. And I tried once with him and I thought it was boring and I pretty much didn't want to play anymore. Played lots of sports, and when I finished playing all my sports, got to where I couldn't run anymore, I tried out golf with my husband and I caught on to it.
And you got sucked in.
Yeah, then you can't stop.
Right? Yeah, I know. I started 2 years ago and it's like consumed me.
Yeah, it is.
Consumed me.
You always want to be better and go and drive further and, putt better. And it's just a never ending cycle.
Right, right. Now, did you just guys get into it? Like, I know, golf really exploded right around, during COVID. Is that about the time you guys started, or?
We actually moved here in the end of 2020. And when I went to go work for the pro shop, my husband was like, I'm bored. Like, I want to go do something. And I was like, my dad's got about 6 different sets of clubs. Just let's grab a couple bags and go see what we can do. And I was like, I don't want to really play. Like, I'll just like drive around with you. And then the more he played, the more I was like, I could probably do that better.
She's like, straight up, I can do that better.
Well, I mean, if you'll ask anyone that shows up in this live or comes in and knows me, yeah, I'm very competitive compared to my husband. My husband can't stand it, so I'm sure I can do that better.
I'm a super competitive guy myself. Like, I'll be a coach, and there will be nobody harder on their game, on my game, than me.
Yeah,
like it's crazy. Especially like when your buddy hits a nice shot and you're like, oh, all right, watch
yeah,
it.
you're like, that was nice. I bet I could do better than that. And then you don't, and you're like, I'm gonna let that one slide.
I mean, this is how competitive I am. A buddy of mine that I golf with probably at least once, twice a week. He's been golfing about 6, 7 years now, maybe 8 years, and he's pretty good. I mean, he's not bad. And he hit a drive one time, and it was gone. And I'm like, and I looked at him like, well, how am I supposed to follow that up? And he goes, Brian, we're not in competition with each other. And we're just having a good time. And we got back, and I hit my drive. It was a decent drive. I got back in the cart, and I said, man, I got nothing but love and respect for you. But every time we get on this golf course, I want to kick your ass. Like, that's just the way it is. I want to, beat you. And I've only done it once, but yeah, I'm super competitive like that. It sucks. Almost.
Yeah, I mean, like Chrissy's in here right now, and she whoops my booty all over the place. But I'm always like, I almost had you by like 100 yards.
Yes, I almost had you until your ball rolled past mine. Now, let's talk about like because we're in the social media world, like it or not, that's what we do. That's what we do. That's who we are. I mean, it's not who we are, it's just what we do. And what for me, hopefully one day I make a living out of this. But um, why do you think golf exploded on the YouTube scene and we have golf talk or golf talk and IG. Why do you think it exploded so much?
Honestly, like if I hadn't have been exposed to it beforehand, I probably wouldn't have. I'm not wasn't one. I don't like to watch sports, like to play them. Um, my husband got into the YouTube thing. He watches like Good and um, Bob Does Sports, stuff like that. And I was like, I would never watch that. And then the more I played, the more I was like, maybe I should watch that a little bit.
Right.
I don't know. Like, I think there's a lot of things shifted whenever you had COVID come in because being like a retired vet tech, you had animals, the shelters were almost empty. People
Mm-hmm.
started finding things to do that weren't super contact sports.
Right.
And golf is something you can get into and stay doing until you're like 85.
Oh yeah, I golf with guys that in fact I golf today. I golfed my home course is at an RV resort, 18 hole course. I mean it is what it is, but so I golfed with a lot of guys that are retired and yeah, I see him out there. I have a good friend of mine, he's 75 years old and he still hits it like 280.
Yeah.
And
I've got two guys that I play wolf with that are 82 and 85.
yeah, and
Still
he's like
going.
a 6 handicap. It's like
They're
I just
ridiculous. Like I can't even handle it.
like but I mean, he's just great at it, man. Yeah, I think it's relevant. It's just relevant. Like I watch like good guys. Those are all great golfers. I mean, they're all hands down
Well, yeah.
great golfers. But you look at Bob Does Sports, and you look at Foreplay, and some of these others, and you're like, hey, I could go and play with these guys and have a great time and not get my ass totally kicked. You
Right.
know. Now, like for me, like Frankie Borelli, he kicked my butt. Bat Perez would kick my butt.
You never down the FP.
But no. But like Joey Colcutt, I think I could hang with him. I think he may be a little bit better than me, but Bobby Fairway, I think I could hang with him. Trent Ryan from Foreplay, I think I could hang with him.
Yeah, I
So
just maybe I could just like take on some of the cameramen. Like I don't
yeah, well the
like
Kevinmans are good too. That's like good guys. The Kevinmans are really good too. Yeah, I just think it's relevant, and I think that's what people relate to. Like I could, you could sit down. Like for me, I watch a lot of YouTube golf. And Rory McIlroy said something the other day. I was a Rory fan until a couple of days ago, and he said they did an interview on him, and he said they're talking about YouTube golf. He said, yeah, it's exploded, it's great, whatever. He goes, but I'd rather watch real golfers play real golf. And I was like,
yeah.
oh, like so the 10 states, the 52 different golf courses, and the 197 rounds I played last year. I guess I'm not a real golfer.
Right.
I'm just a shitty real golfer, that's all, or a real shitty golfer. Either way, like so. But it's to me, I think it's just relevant. You can look at those guys and you can watch those guys and say, hey, man, I could play with those guys, and they're putting out great content, and they're not, they're good golfers. Don't get me wrong, but they're like the average golfer, most of them.
Well, I think it's one of those like you want to relate to the person that's playing, and so they're getting to play some of those courses like it's on your wish list to go, right?
Right.
And like you're 2 years in, I'm 4 years in. Sometimes I spent my first year and a half, 2 years on the same golf course every day. I never traveled anywhere or played with anybody.
Really?
Yeah, just the guys at the course just give me a hard time and just telling me I wasn't fast enough or good enough to play with them, which fueled my fire. So
Right. Now let's talk about that being most of my guests on my podcasts have been females for some reason, and so this topic always comes up, or I always bring it up because I think it's an important topic, and I think it's something that needs to be talked about more. But as you as a female golfer, Do you think you get treated now? Do you think you get treated any differently still on the golf course as maybe you would have 4 years ago?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. When I first started, the guys had a weekly wolf game, and I wasn't invited because I might slow their pace of play down.
Hmm.
But my husband, who wasn't even driving the ball as far as me at the time, they would let him on the course and just like let him play with the guys, and I'd be like, what's the deal?" Like,
Right.
so yeah, they gave me a real hard time, but that was something that they pretty much told me, like, you get better, get faster, and you can stay up with us, and then we'll let you play with us. I
And
was
you
like,
go, yeah, you play with you. Like, okay. I guess I look at it like I've never see. My mom was a mechanic for a while, and so I guess I was raised a little differently, um, and I never really had that like guy versus girls or girls are not good enough for sports type deal. Now I will say, obviously, when we get into, I mean, the big leagues and the men are also dominant athletes, or they show it they are. I mean, you can't put a WNBA against an NBA player. It's not gonna turn out well. But I think golf is one of those sports where it kind of takes all that away, really, because I mean, you guys are hitting from a different tee, and I think it really makes it. I would say an exact playing field, but I literally can name 10 girls that would whip my ass right now on the golf course, and and they'd be sitting from the same tees. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I think golf is one of those sports where it kind of gives you more of a level playing field.
yeah. I
If you
mean,
want to get into that female male type thing, do you think that golfers are more accept? I guess they're more acceptable to female golfers now, or
I think you're going to run into that male um, overbearing attitude, thinking that women can't keep up, because most of the women golfers in our, I mean, you can not quote me on this, but I'm going to tell you that in our area, all the women golfers are older. So you don't have that young group that's coming up. And I'm not a spring chicken. I'm just saying, like, I came from gymnastics, softball, and diving. So, like, my muscle mass compared to most of the women around here, 50 and older, is completely different. And
right?
so I I was like challenge accepted. And so I got to where I'd start playing with them, and then they would move me back from the reds to the whites because it only made it fair for everyone to hit from the same spot,
Right.
which was funny to me. But
Like I said, I just never. I've golfed with like my cousin, one of my cousins. She's like one half of the Nice Girls Golf. Um, so I've golfed with her 2 or 3 times, and she ain't the greatest golfer, but she keeps up. She's good. She's out there having a good time. And I can remember back. I mean, it's only been 2 years, but how bad I was 2 years ago compared to where I am now. You have to always start somewhere. You
yeah,
know,
I
um,
really feel like if they someone has the determination to get better and like hang with them, as long as they're not slowing down the pace of play, and they're not for the I don't know if I can say this, but pissing the men off, like trying to keep up with them, but they're all having to wait for you. Like if you got the determination to be that good and like stay up with them, and the red tees do help, by the way, the women's tees.
oh yeah.
Then it is what it is, and
Hmm.
I've had nothing but acceptance, even when you take me out of my comfort zone to like Utah or Dallas or Denver or Tennessee.
Yeah. Now let's talk about. Now there is girls. I would say I think there's probably two different types of female golfers,
There are.
and I'm gonna say. I mean, you got your. I call them your IG model golfers. You know,
Yes.
and then you got your women golfer that are good, and there's some IG women golfers that are really good golfers. I'm not going to say they're not,
Well, I know for a fact there are. I've watched them.
but I do you think? I don't know how to word this. You think that's I don't want to say appropriate because
It's hard to offend me. How about that?
no, I'm just trying to. It's not you. I'm worried about. No, I just feel like some of these girls just go out there and they have look at me, look at me.
Yeah. So here's the thing: when I show up to the golf course, like I'm gonna have my collared tank on or my whatever blouse, and I'll probably have some shorts on. I'm not wearing tight crap, and I'm not wearing mini skirts because I'm not there for you to look at me. I'm there to whoop your butt, and so that's my attitude. I don't make like cutesy. Everyone has their own niche, and I think it's good for them. I mean that's good. If that works for you, do it because I think there's a market for everything, but I don't. It's just not my style because I was raised as such a tomboy and in so many competitions that I can't fathom like wearing tighter stuff to make me uncomfortable. So I can't try to whoop you.
Just less. They just wear less stuff.
Less, yes. I'm always going to be covered. It may not be the cutest thing, but I got shorts on and I'm comfortable. Swinging shoes.
I've got to golf with a couple IG models. One was I was around her 15 minutes, and I'm like, I just can't. But again, here I am, almost 49 years old. She's like 22.
Yeah,
you know,
well, that happens.
And the other girl, she was a lot more conservative. But yeah, it just wasn't. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I really don't.
No, I mean, like, listen. Last season I golfed with, or I didn't golf with Vision, but this girl named Vision that was on the Create Tour. She wears the cutest outfits, cutest things I've ever seen. Not just like hanging out anywhere, just like cute.
Right.
Again,
and I don't think that's a problem. And don't get me wrong. It's one of the girls, one of the guests in here says, "Why can't you do duo?" You can. I'm not saying
you can do both. Don't get me wrong.
You could do both. The ones I'm talking about are the ones that are just out there to get the attentions.
The ones that like show some TNA just to get
that attention, and I'm like,
yeah.
You know what would impress me more if you drove that ball 220. That would be, that would be badass. That's just kind of how I look at it. But again, I think I come from. Again, I'm older now, and I come from as a competitive guy. I'm there to golf. That's what I want to do. I want to golf and focus on my shitty game and not worry about anything else. So that's kind of where I come from. What do you think about the golf fashion? Like, I'm huge in it. Like, and I talk about this every podcast. I have 63. I went and counted them. I have 63 different polos, 15 pairs of different golf shoes. I mean, I have my hat, my belt have to match. Now I'm not like some of these cats that have who is it?
Zoolander
out
that
there.
Fool has a fit for everything.
He can literally change his shoes every hole. Just as Nikes and not run him out of shoes.
Yeah.
Like he did a video with his closet, and I was like,
it's insane.
Like my wife says I used to have like 20 pairs of Chucks, every different color you could think of. Tennis shoes, like I probably had like 30 or 40 different pairs of shoes at one point in time. And he has that just in golf shoes.
Dude himself is like the shoe maniac. And then you've got like Classic Man who's got like every hat there is to be seen.
Right.
You've seen Classic Man Tone?
No, I have not yet. I'll look them up when we get off of here.
Yeah, and then like all the people I've met, the guy from Chippo that's got his entire apparel, and you've got Lauren who's got all his little jogger pants he always wears.
I like jogger pants. I don't know if an almost 50-year-old should be wearing jogger pants, but I love them. I wear them. Like I actually have a pair on now. I went golf this morning.
If they're not too tight and you can swing in them, then I
say no, they're super loose, super, yeah. And I found I had a hole in a place I probably shouldn't have a hole.
Like mid-swing.
And then my buddies, none of them said anything about it. And I'm like, hey, y'all didn't tell me about this hole? And they're like, yeah, if they had a stage, we would have brought you up on stage. thanks, guys. You know,
It's so
but
funny.
yeah, I think golf. You think fashion. You think golf drove the golf fashion up, or do you think the golf fashion drove golf up?
I
What do
That's a
you think?
double-edged sword. So I feel like, listen, I think that golf fashion has its place, depending on what kind of athlete you are and how long you've been there. Um, but I think for the women, like to get them interested, I think it's kind of fun. Like it gives them
Yes.
something to like look forward to if they're not really into the game yet. And then like let them wear their cute stuff and let their husband see it while they're trying to go out there and learn.
Yeah, I think. And I've talked to a lot of. I mean, I've not a lot of girls, but I've talked to the ones I've done podcasts with, like the Back Nine Besties. They're interested in doing a and golfing. Karina, she wants to build a golfing clothing brand. You know, this is what I would think. If I had a clothing brand or a fashion brand, I would do clothes that were a little more affordable.
Yeah,
This shirt alone was like $75. Like, it's insane. The cost of, I would do it more. I wouldn't say, but like even Walmart. I go to Walmart and there's some like really cool shirts for like $16. I'm like, yeah, there you go. And I probably had 10 of those. You know, I'm
yeah.
like every
My
color. You know, I
my
could buy
thing
seven
is
of
like
these for the price of one.
every time that you wanna like if you're 5'10" and well endowed in the chest and you have swimming shoulders, like sometimes they don't make like husky girl clothes for golf. Like it's all like real tight fitting. Like sometimes you just don't want to walk out there and watch everyone look at your fat rolls. Like you just want to swing the club.
That's why I've been on a diet.
I mean, after 3 surgeries in 4 months,
Yeah.
I'm down, but I'm not doing the best. So
I went on a diet and lost a bunch of weight because I hated the way I look on camera. I literally
uh,
did.
I'm
Oh,
I'm
God.
looking pretty broad shouldered at this point, so I don't know what to tell you.
I was, when you're 5'8" and you're 220, that's not cool. Like, not good, you know? So, like, we're not doing that no more. So, but let's talk about, since we brought up Zoolander and all those guys, let's talk about the Creator Tour.
A creator.
Creator. Now, tell me about that experience. Now, have you did it once or twice now?
I've been to there was a spinoff called Chunky Invitational, and
Uh-huh.
that was in Colorado. He was part of the Create Tour the first time. I got invited to the first one, but we went through some stuff, so I couldn't make it. We made it to the second one that was the Southern Invitational. It was so much fun, and I was mortified. So these two brothers got together. It was Dreadful Golfer and Ty
Yes.
Tomahawk, and they're in
Oh, cool
Tennessee.
guys.
So they set up 3 different courses in 3 days, and they do like a scramble one day. They do like a match play the second day, and like championship the third day. And it's fun. If you are not, it's for every type of ability. So if you're not like ready, you think you're like a 30 handicap, it's totally fine. There's other people there that can do that.
Right.
If you're like a 2 handicap or a -6, like somebody in this group, then they've got people to go against you too.
Right.
And like
That's
Mama J,
intimidating though. Like, that's intimidating. Go get someone that's like a, like a +3 handicap or +6. Oh my God, that's insane.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they'll match you up and they'll put like a kind of like an ABCD type of player together
Right.
in like the scrambles, and you get to meet people and you talk, and they have mixers, and it's all about like connecting with someone else, like just like Mr. Mac, he comes out there, Tone's out there, Chrissy, Mama J, like all they're in here, and it's just like a family. You just create a family with everybody.
That's on my bucket list.
It's so much fun. It's usually in October in Tennessee, and it's so much fun.
Yeah, that is on my bucket list. I definitely want to do that for sure. Like, that's When I first saw it, I'm like, that is so cool. Like that just, you know, in fact, I liked it so much. I'm only like 4 hours from Los Angeles, and a lot of the people I have interviewed and I have lined up to interview for the podcast are in that Southern California region, and I want to do something like that, but I don't want to step on their toes. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, like they're the godfather of this. They
They're so awesome though. If you come and meet them, they love to like venture out to different spots. Like they did one in Florida with Mr. Matt the week before the PGA.
Mhm.
Like the grandstands were set up, and like it would have been a once in a lifetime thing for me, and I couldn't make it.
Right.
So we
Yeah,
play the Southern once a year.
I want to do one on the West Coast in California, and I heard they were going to do something on the West Coast, but I don't. Maybe it wasn't them, but I thought I saw something. When you see so much stuff on
Yeah.
these posts, but I want to show them respect. I don't want to step on their toes. Like I don't want to like, oh, that guy from Arizona took all of our ideas. Well,
No,
yeah,
they're wonderful people, and the
like
more
yeah, I kind of did though. Like that, like I like what they do. Like I would only do maybe a 1 day or 2 day event just to start off with. But yeah, I would definitely want to do something like that for sure.
Yeah, so Tone was saying the Chunky Invitational I told you was in Colorado.
Yeah,
He now moved to Utah, and he's doing one in Utah, and it's beautiful. I think Tone even went to it.
that would be awesome because um, my wife, her corporate office is in St. Louis or Salt Lake,
Yeah,
Utah.
that's where they're going to be this year.
Really?
Yeah,
So we may have to plan that out. So let's do it. I definitely want to do one on the West Coast. Like March 16th, they're doing one like a fundraiser for the fires that happened over there.
yeah,
And a lot of the golf content creators are going to it. The ones that I keep in contact on the West Coast and I've done interviews with and I've met and like the Beetle Boys and Golfing Princess, Karina Tries to Golf, the Back Nine Besties. All these guys are going to go to it. So that I'm definitely want to go to that just so I can meet all these people. If you want to meet the people,
oh yeah,
I love social media, and I hate to say it, but I do. Like I got on TikTok because I had teenage kids. You know, they were almost teenagers or they were young teenager kids at the time, and I was just kind of being the overprotective dad and trying to. No, I wouldn't even say that. I was being a dad and making sure my kids weren't looking at anything stupid or anybody's doing stupid stuff to them or saying stupid stuff to them. It's basically what it was.
social media is scary, especially with children.
Yeah, you know, and so, and I'm like watching these videos. I'm like, wait a minute, I can do that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to follow my golf journey from day one until I've been doing this for what 25 months now. Yeah, 25 months now, and I wanted to just follow my journey and put it out there. And like I said, I love social media, but I also love meeting people, like meeting face to face. You know, I got to meet 517 Golf. He gets a bad name, but I mean, he was super cool to me. Um, Super cool to me, and he didn't do me wrong. I got to meet Sammy the club fitter, her husband Matt. I got to meet Red Walker, and man, I
You
don't
know,
know.
you can outdrive some of the men.
It's her gas tank is like triple the normal person. I mean, she just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes.
Yeah, I've never seen. I really thought like the taller and more muscular you were, like the better your drive would be. And Sarah's sitting at like 5 foot nothing, and she hits from the blue tee, the men's tees, and I've never seen anything like it.
She's like two. She's a 1 or 2 handicap. She fitted.
Weighs like less than 100 pounds.
Yeah, she lives 180 miles from me,
Hmm.
up in the Phoenix area, and she's the one. I went to her to get my driver. I got fitted for my driver, and she is a stud when it comes to that. Like she, like right now, like just for today, I drove, outdrove every single, there were six of us. Outdrove them every single time today. When I say outdrove, I outdrove them probably like 40 yards. Now again, these are older retired men, but that driver, and she took the time. She was patient with me,
They're
and
so good at that stuff.
she fine tuned that thing to like I don't ever want to get rid of it at this point. And I found a little chip on the face today, and I was like, no, no, no,
Don't do it.
don't do it. But yeah, it's she's awesome. And then red flag golfer, she had a full tank of gas. Like I mean, she just goes, and she was super cool.
A little bit more um, slack on the leash than I do to travel, but she's awesome too. She's always been real fantastic.
I mean, I don't. I mean, look what she does. Like we're on live talking about her, but I mean,
No, I
she
think I invited her in here somewhere.
um, she's in Phoenix right now with Sarah
Oh, okay.
for the West with the waste management Phoenix Open. So she's in Phoenix right now, but um, super nice girl, like really nice, and so that's what I enjoy, meeting new people.
I mean, like, Sarah's husband's the one that started nicknaming me the Hammer, and we just kind
That's
of
a super
evolved from
cool
that.
dude, man. And that's a super cool dude for real, man. And
Oh,
again, and all these golf courses or all these golf courses I go golf at, 99% of the time I'm a solo. So I get teamed up with people. And I absolutely I like some people don't like it. I love it. Like even was it day before yesterday, I went to go play 9 holes by myself and this older guy, he was in front of me and I was like, "Hey, you mind if I play with you?" And we had a great time, you know, and we had a great time together. And he told me stories. He's an older guy, so he was telling me stories. And um, yeah, that's what I truly like. I love social media, but I still love that human interaction, in person interaction, and meet those people. And let's see if they are who they really are. You know,
uh,
are they
so
paying?
I mentioned Lauren Colburn. He's in Arizona. Have you ever met him?
No. If he's in
Okay.
Arizona, yeah, definitely would like to.
I have some
So
people asking about it.
yeah, he. I don't know. To me, I just love that interaction with people, and I think um, as social media and phones and everything kind of evolves, I see less and less of that, and I'm like, nah, we gotta get back into that, get back into that face to face and meeting different people and and I don't know. I just that's what intrigues me about golf is that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. My thing was, I never really, I didn't like playing golf with girls. Like it's just a thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
my, for me, like my walls would go up and my game would go straight down. So it's taking me quite a bit, like at least two Southerns and multiple, like getting into like, programs like around here local that have just women leagues for me to be more comfortable around the women.
Uh huh.
Like I'll jump on a course all day long and play with the guys because I'm used to that. I can give them crap back. But girls, I'm like, oh, it took me quite a bit to get used to that.
I I went golfing in El Centro, which is in California. It's probably 50 miles west of here, and it's at an RV park over there, a 209 hole course. And we had two women in front of me, and it was a slow day, so there was a lot of times when we were like, I would, putt, and I would stand there and watch them tee off or wait for them to tee off and stuff. We started. Those girls were a riot. Like they gave it to me. Like they gave it to me. Like I birdied the first hole. The second hole, I don't know, I duffed it or something, and it was just a bad shot. And they're like, "Stop swinging like a girl," and I'm like. I looked up. I'm like, oh, that's how it's going to be today, huh? And from that point on, it was on. Like it was that opened the door for me, and we had a blast. We had a good time. And
I just had a lot of sports anxiety, and the women seemed to like make it worse. Even though I was like I said, gymnast, diver, whatever, just a new sport. And I know, like, I've had some of them come down to our course where they're just like, all right, show me your course. And so I just go out there and I play.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, holy crap, like, you should have done this on the other courses. And I'm like, well, new people, and
Right.
just makes you nervous, you know? You just don't want to mess up.
It's my buddies. You know?
Yeah, it's definitely a different headspace when you go from super competitive to learning that you just need to concentrate on your own game, and then it turns out better for you instead of worrying what everyone else is doing.
For sure, man. What's your favorite course you've played on so far?
Huh?
Favorite course you've played on?
I wouldn't say favorite, but I really liked Colorado. I just I didn't do very well there.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first time to like really travel.
Right.
I love the Tennessee courses. They're a lot of fun. I don't like cattails at all. I hate that course. It eats my ball every time I see water. But the rest of them, like, I like.
I played I played with that guy from there's probably 4 courses that come to mind. There's a course in Parker, Arizona called Emerald Canyon, and it's a championship course that's built into a side of a canyon.
Oh wow!
Like there's a hole. It's a par 3 that's 240 yards away. It's a par 3, but the kicker is you're 300 feet above the hole, on top of this mountain, hitting down into the hole. And there's like 3 of them, like 3 holes like that. Things like that. It's crazy where you could tee off and you hit the side of the canyon, it'll bounce back into the fairway, or it'll go and you'll never see that ball again.
Yeah, the one in Colorado had a boulder sitting in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, it's
Like
just
not like a little tiny, like it was like a whole
a
boulder.
boulder. Like who brought the boulder from Boulder? Yeah.
I literally hit a hook around this boulder. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And then it's Fossil Trace. And then I lost it. I lost my ball. It went around the boulder. Did not even touch the boulder.
I played in Washington at Orchard Hills. It's my sister's country club, and my brother-in-law, they belong to that country club. And I went up there last summer to play in a member's guest, and I went up there during Thanksgiving and played there. Probably one of my favorite courses. I shot 100 the first time I played there, and I haven't shot 100 in a year. And then I shot a 90, which is about a 90 was pretty decent for me at that point. But it was hard, but it's a beautiful course, man. Beautiful holes, it's a country club. It's beautiful. I really like that one. I like the one in Ramona, California. That's the one I played with the Golf Pro. And those two, like the one in Parker and the one in Ramona, both of those were championship courses that the seniors play on every year. And then Coronado, which is in San Diego. Have you ever been to San Diego?
I've been there, but I haven't played golf there.
So that big, huge bridge that goes across to the island.
Yeah.
So you drive over that. I think it's like 3 miles long. You drive over that bridge, and as you're driving, you can look down to the left, and you actually see the golf course. And it's 3 Corvettes wrapped around the bay or the ocean.
Oh yeah.
It's beautiful.
My ball would find the water every time.
No, you're not really close to it. There's a couple places where you are, but
if there's a will, there's a way.
Oh yeah, I could put the ball anywhere. So for sure, man. Most memorable golf story.
Most memorable golf story. I went to the Chunky Invitational in Colorado, and I only golf in flip flops. And I flip flops. No, I'm serious. And I flip flops with cleats. But I still.
When are you gonna retire? Because that's what all the retired people wear.
So I was in Colorado. I think it was on my second day. I think we were doing a scramble, and I wore flip flops that had no cleats on them at the time because I didn't know they had those. And it had rained like before we went out on the course, and I hit a ball into a 6-foot sand bunker, but it was not like it was 6 foot down, but it was just like that far wide. Like it wasn't, you know what I mean? And you had to go down there to go get your ball. And I tried to go down there and I slipped and I fell into the 6-foot bunker. My husband was laughing so hard he couldn't stand himself, and I finally got out of the damn thing. And I think it was like 2 holes later, I was trying to come down the hill just to putt and slid right down it again. Brand new people, like new people on the tour I'd never met. They're just laughing and like checking on me. And it's like, I just, yeah.
So how many shades of red were you?
Huh?
How many shades of reds were you from the embarrassment?
I literally just, I mean, when people get to know me, they're kind of like, yes, that's Cody. She's fine. Like, what are you gonna do?
Right. That's
So everyone
crazy.
thought it was hilarious. I met most of my Create Tour people there, and then I went to the Southern the next year. But yeah, everyone was just waiting for these antics, and I had a whole bunch in store this last time, and I forgot a lot of my things, my props. I couldn't golf at that time. My clavicle had just been plated, so.
Okay. Dream foursome.
Dream foursome?
Yeah.
Um,
Don't take that. Let me tell you though, every time I've asked that
like
question to a
people I
woman,
know.
every time I've ever asked that to a female golfer, like they giggle every single
I
like
mean,
the
you gotta be specific about things.
I know. And the last Karina tries to golf. She's like, golf, and I'm like,
I mean, like,
yes, golf.
I will tell you that I would love to, and this seems cliche, but the reason I want to golf with Tiger is because his back was broken just like mine. So he literally had to be his own golf coach to teach himself a new swing. So that's one. John Daly, for sure.
You don't like your liver, do you?
I, I think anyone who's in this room knows about how I golf on the course. And then, man, I don't know. There's one I really like, DeChambeau.
Oh, that would be so cool.
I like to play him around him.
For me, it would be Trent Ryan from Foreplay and Frankie Borelli, because Trent Ryan's from Iowa, just like I am. Literally, we were born, I don't know, like 100 miles from each other. He's a lot younger than I am, and he's like the nicest guy in the world. And then Frankie Borelli, because he's like he's the ultimate hype man. He is you can't have a bad golf around him because he's such a hype man. Like he's always like, that's okay, we'll get next. He's just a hype guy, and probably Bobby Fairway.
Yeah.
That would be the three that I would.
His accent would grate on me so bad since I'm from Texas that like I'd be like, you have to shut up for a minute. But could you imagine having a bad time with John Daly?
No.
Yeah.
I don't drink, so.
Oh, well,
But.
Couple transfusions, you'll be good to go.
Well, right now I can't. I'm taking some medication stuff. I can't drink with it, but yeah, that would be some transfusions. I didn't know what those were until I went up to Washington and I actually fell. And I was like, those were really good. Like,
yeah, the first time I learned about transfusion, we went to Colorado, and there was someone I golfed with named Chippo. And he taught me about transfusions. Now I stuck with my beer, but it was interesting. It was a lot of fun.
Tone, aka Classic, she will outdrink John Daly easy. That's my Tone.
Oh, you better watch it.
So that was actually my next question. Favorite drink on the course?
Yeah. I'm an ultra drinker.
Ultra drinker. When I was drinking, I'm a tequila, club soda, lime juice.
Oh no! Listen, you give me liquor, and I'm going to find it more interesting to drive the golf course and drive it into something than I would drive the ball.
Yeah, that's tequila, club soda, lime juice is my go-to on the golf course when I was drinking.
Listen, I can drink beer all day long. Just don't give me shots or anything else.
Yeah, I drink beer. I used to drink beer, but to me it was just I kind of switched from the beer to I got introduced to these tequila, club soda, lime juice. I'm like, these are really good, and I think these are really good. It's like a kind of like a spiked lemonade in a way.
tequila would make me pretty much clear the course and not really play any more golf. I wouldn't be asked back. How about that?
Favorite food or snack on the course?
Food or snack? Beef jerky. Oh, and just for tone that's in here, glizzies.
Okay,
Gotta have a glizzy.
there you go. Mine is protein, like no, mine's like those like protein nut bars you can get.
Yeah.
So like 5 or 6 of them in my bag, for sure. A hot dog at the turn.
Oh, definitely a hot dog. Have to have the glizzy.
Yeah, you gotta have a hot dog at the turn. If I've had some really good ones, and I've had some like, bro, like this is absolutely nasty, but
Really not good ones.
like really, like I didn't finish it, man. What's your golf goals for 2025?
My golf goal this year is to get back on the course and shoot halfway what I shot the year before. After 3 surgeries and being down since August, yeah,
You're ready. You're ready
ready to
to
release,
lighten up.
swing away.
Okay. Mine is I'm a 15 handicap now. Mine is to get down to a 12 by the end of the year. That shaving 3 strokes off your game is going to be difficult. But if I learn how to chip, if I can learn how to chip, I could probably take 5 strokes off my game. And I'm not even exaggerating. If I could learn how to chip, I would probably take 5 strokes off my game.
My irons started coming in really well, and my putting did well. My driving's always been somewhat decent. If you ask anyone, they're decent for where I'm at.
Mhm.
And but I feel like I've lost so much momentum with everything, and I'm probably gonna have to learn a different swing now that they pieced me back together. That I'm interested to see what the Southern's gonna bring me this year because I'm coming for everybody that's in here.
Oh, she says she's calling you all out.
Right, Tone?
You know, when I hurt I'll tell you a quick story. I always go to California every summer, and I spend a week there, and I golf 6 days at 6 different golf courses type deal. Because like San Diego's literally 2.5 hours from my house, so it's like boop, it's one freeway, and it'll just take you straight to the. I mean, literally. So the golf course I stopped at in El Centro on my way out, and the second hole, so it was like a 300-yard hole, and you had to go up these steps, and you're probably 100 feet above the fairway. And I got stupid, like, so I gripped it and ripped it, and when I did, I ended up pinching a nerve. The third rib up, I pinched a ball of nerve between my spine and my rib.
Yeah.
So I instantly fell to my knee, and I was like, I had tears in my eyes. It was excruciating pain. And it hit this tree, 90'd off the tree, and hit this old lady on the front, on the number 1 green, hit her in the wrist.
Oh no.
Of all places, in her wrist. She had her hand out, like away from her body. And that wasn't the bad part. She brought me the ball.
Oh. Did she smack you?
Well, I was on the ground, and and she didn't yell for.
Dying in pain.
And I was like, and I'm still trying to catch my breath. I'm like, I'm sorry. And like, I'm trying to catch my breath because I mean, every time I just moved, I was just like, oh my God, something. And I'm like, sorry, but it did hit a tree first, you know. So where it goes from a tree, I don't know. And I was like, so I get up, and she literally said, "It goes, if Sonny, if you can't hit the ball any better than that, you should probably hit from the front tees." And I'm like, respect. I like you. I like you.
You just crawl in the cart and just leave.
Yeah. Well, the next hole, I hit the ball, and I hit up on the group in front of me because it was a blind hole, and I didn't know they had a bell. I hit it, and it rolls right up on the green. It rolls like 3 feet from them. And I went, and I was like, "Oh my!" I just picked it up, went home. I went to the hotel, California, and I laid there in bed for 3 days. It sucked because it was just. But what's your plans for this year as far as golfing? Like, where you going? Southern, obviously.
Well, obviously the Southern. I'll be there. But we just got a trailer that we can travel with, and my husband's like, you know that if we get time off, we're just going to travel around and golf at different spots. My thing is, I think I'm a badass on my course, which kind of holds true if you'll ask Chrissy and the rest of them that have been here. Um, I'm decent at like I can average like an 82 on my course. If you take me to a different course, I'm like 120 score. It's
It's
handicapped me, and they're like, "Oh, your handicap's a 17." And I was like, "No, no, no, that's on my course. Like you can't. That's not how that works." And they're like, "Oh, I'm sure you're sandbagging." And I'm like, I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. I've just never been like there's faster greens, there's slower greens, there's boulders in the frickin' way, there's like hillsides to play off of. Like ours is
trees
flat. You know what I mean?
and ponds and all kind of. I went golfing
Hills,
yesterday.
water. Like
I went golfing yesterday, and usually this is a pretty nice golf course. You know, the whole nine to the water, it was like 260. Well,
my plans go to Houston.
I hit like a 259-yard drive, and it was like 260. I get up, and this is a pretty big pond, and every single fish was floating. Disgusting. And I was like, why are all the fish dead? It was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
It was disgusting, but Southern Invitational, travel around in the travel trailer. What else you
Yeah.
got going on?
Well, we made so many friends like in different cities. We've got some California, some in Houston. We've got Las Vegas, Georgia. I mean, as soon as my husband runs his own company now, and he's starting to get a little bit more freedom. And so, if you want to load me up in a trailer, like I travel with clubs. Anytime anyone wants to invite me, I'll be there.
I don't travel without my clubs. I
Oh,
just don't.
I'm sitting in my car constantly. Like
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Like wherever we go, I bring my clubs. You know,
oh yeah,
wherever my wife travels a lot for work, and so sometimes I'll go with her. Wherever she goes, I'm bringing my clubs. If
exactly.
she's at work all day, what you want me to do? I'm gonna go play golf. You know,
Yeah.
and I have my work schedule allows me to do that. So for sure, man.
I mean, like I think I'm pretty set working on some disability due to all my injuries and surgeries. And if I get approved, I mean, as long as they're good and in an area where we can afford it, I can't wait. Mr. Matt's in the house right now, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it to.
What? I want to golf with that dude for sure, man.
Oh God, he'll whip me all over the place.
And
But
the
can't wait.
the old fashioned. I want an old fashioned golfer. I want
Old
to.
fashioned's a blast. He is so
I
much fun to play with.
and or the bogeys and barrels. Those I would love to golf with those guys.
Like I don't think I've actually been paired up with Matt, but I'm pretty sure if I make it to Florida, I'm sure we're gonna golf.
Yeah, I would love to golf with him, man. He seems like a cool dude.
He is. They're
That's
all.
awesome, man. What my goal is definitely is a Southern Invitational. If I get invited, I would love to go for sure,
Oh
man.
yeah. I mean, you'll never have a better time.
Yeah, for sure, man. I want to be a part of something like that.
So much fun, and it's
So
full
much
of
content you can make. You
I
can
mean,
make a month's worth of content out of that thing.
as long as you have an eye range, you're good to go.
Yeah. Oh, an eye range. I have a. See, I don't use an eye range
So you're not in the cool club.
because I'm a redneck. I made mine out of an old. I literally took. I'm not kidding you. I took an old golf tent stake, stuck it in a old, like an old golf shaft, and I crimped around it. And since I have a welder, so I welded it, and then I threaded the top of it for an adapter for my camera or my phone, and that's what I use. Or I have a tripod that literally just unfolds and blink, and it sets up quick. And it folds down to like this big.
Yeah.
So
My eye range, I just keep in my bag, and it's got a stake on it, and I just throw it down and use the
I
mag.
made mine like a redneck, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta support all your local people, and so whether they're starting out or they're not, you gotta.
Do you know the guys from iRange or?
I have not met them personally, but they help fund or they help support some of the like the Southern Invitational and some of the other ones that they did. And
It's just hard for me. I'm like, that's $80 for a stick. I don't know why. It's in my head like that. I'm sure, like like mine's not adjustable. You know, it just sticks in the ground and it just sits there.
Yeah, I mean, if you come to some of these invitationals, like you'll meet a lot of the vendors that they just want to get their name out and try whatever, and it's so worth a lot of what they do, you know.
Mhm. And I love supporting uh, I mean, local businesses. I love supporting content creators, and especially like on my Instagram, I have just as many followings as I do followers.
Yeah.
Everybody that follows me that is a golf, I'll follow them back, and I'll go on their when they go live. I'll smack the heart button. It's a cheap way to support them, and so that's what I try to do. My buddy Big Focus, I don't know if he's in here right now, but just the other night I was on his. I interacted with him. It was a lot of fun. So,
Yeah,
but
I mean, there's so many from shirt lines to eye ranges to like all sorts of different golf balls that they're all over the place, and it's nice to kind of see where they're at, what their TikTok is, like go support them, buy a shirt. It's just nice to help out the whole community.
yeah, because because in the return they're going to help me grow.
Right.
You
It's
know,
just like this one, the app, and different
yeah,
things. Like we're all just kind of have each other's back, and it's
that's the way
just
it should be.
yeah.
That's the way it should be for sure, man. All right, Cody, man. Thank you for coming on. This is a lot of fun. Uh, Again, I know you're under the weather, and
Yeah.
you did it, though. You pulled through. That's awesome, man. Um, Again, I can't wait to meet you guys, you and your husband. I'm sure I will pretty soon. One of these, somewhere I will, because that's my
Be
goal.
prepared. You're not ready for the walkers yet.
Like I said, I I'm good. Well,
Yeah.
my brother-in-law, my sister's last name is Walker too, and my niece. That's a crazy bunch. I think it might be the name.
It might be the last name.
Because that's a pretty crazy bunch too. So for sure,
Thanks,
man.
guys, for coming in.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah. Thank you all, you guys over there. Help support this, man. You guys are awesome. Again, it wasn't for those guys, I wouldn't do what I'm doing now. I wouldn't do a podcast. You know,
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. It was when I was watching, like Mr. Matt and Old Fashioned Golf and all these guys. I'm like, man, I would just love to interview them, just talk with them and see
Yeah, they're awesome. Grab them and
where
put
they're
them on.
from. How long they, that kind of thing, man. Uh, I think we need that support at this level. I mean, Sky Scheffler can't turn around without getting interviewed, right? Now, every time he turns around, there's a microphone in his mouth. But the people
Yeah,
that
grab these guys up that have their accounts and they're trying to do something with sport or help with
yeah,
something, and they're never at a loss for words. I can guarantee you that.
yeah, yeah, it's just, again, man, those are the guys, those are the reasons, that whole scene, that whole vibe, that Southern Invitational is the reason why I'm like, I was just watching it. I'm like, man, I would love to interview all those guys. And I'm like, you know what? I'm
They're
gonna,
all fantastic people.
I'm
Like I
gonna,
love
I'm gonna
all
put
of
a
them.
podcast together, and this is what we're gonna do. So here we are. So yeah, it's awesome, man. Again, thanks for coming on, guys. Thanks, Cody, again.
You're welcome.
Guys, thanks. Y'all take care, and God bless.